Have you ever been hurt by someone only for them to act like nothing ever happened? Maybe they betrayed you, said something that cut deep, or left you feeling like your whole world was turned upside down. But when you try to confront them, they act like they don't remember, or they act like it wasn't a big deal. You're left confused, questioning yourself, your feelings, and even your own memory of what happened. So why do some people hurt you and act as though it was nothing? What's really going on behind that calm, unaffected face? What if I told you that the truth behind this behavior is deeper than you might think? It's not about them forgetting or not caring. It's about something much more complex, rooted in our unconscious minds. These were surprisingly lies in the work of Carl Jung, a brilliant psychologist who spent his life exploring the hidden parts of our psyche. And what he discovered will challenge everything you thought you knew about people who seem to hurt you and just move on. By the end of this, you'll have a much clearer understanding of why some people can hurt you and still sleep peacefully in night while you're left awake, replaying every word, every moment, every painful memory. It's time to dive into the real reason behind their behavior and how understanding it can change the way you see the world around you. This opening is designed to draw the viewer in by asking relatable questions and setting stage for a deeper exploration of psychological dynamics involved. Kung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." It sounds like a simple idea, but when you really think about it, it's profound. The things that bother us most about other people, whether it's their behavior, the way they treat us, or even how they act after hurting us, can reveal deeper truths about who we are and what we need to work on within ourselves. But Jung also discovered something most people miss when they hear this quote. There's a hidden layer to it, something that could completely change how you look at the people who hurt you. You see, when someone hurts you and acts like nothing happened, it's not because they don't care. It's not because they've forgotten. In fact, Jung believed that they remember everything. Every word, every promise they broke, every Timothy watched. You suffer, they remember, but they choose to act like nothing happened. Why? Because facing the truth will require them to change. And for many people, change is the most terrifying thing they can face. Instead of acknowledging the pain they've caused, they push it away almost as if they are refusing to acknowledge that the hurt exists. And this is where Jung's idea of the shadow comes in. Jung believed that each of us has a shadow self. Those parts of our personality or actions we don't want to face. It's the side of us that we hide. The things we'd rather not deal with because they're uncomfortable or painful. The more we hide those parts of ourselves, the stronger they grow. And for some people, these hidden parts are projected onto others, making them act in ways that are harmful to those around them. Yet they're still unwilling to take responsibility. So when someone hurts you and refuses to acknowledge it, they're not simply being careless, they're protecting themselves from having to confront their own shadow. And by doing so, they make you carry fluid of their unacknowledged darkness, leaving you to deal with the emotional thought. This is the real reason why some people hurt others and act like nothing happened. We all have a shadow side. It's a part of us that we try to hide, often without even realizing it. For some, it's a deep uncomfortable about who they are or things they've done that they're ashamed of. Carl Jung believed that this shadow self exists within everyone. But it's not something most people want to face. It's easier to ignore or suppress it, to act like it's not there. But here's the thing. The more you try to hide your shadow, the stronger it gets. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with someone hurting you and acting like nothing happened? Well, Jung also introduced the idea of shadow projection, which is when someone pushes their own hidden darkness onto others. Instead of dealing with their uncomfortable truths, they make someone else carry the burden for them. In other words, when someone hurts you and refuses to take responsibility, they're not only avoiding their own guilt, they're projecting their shadow onto you. Imagine this. You're hurt, upset, and asking for acknowledgement, but instead of owning up to their actions, the person acts like nothing's wrong. They might even make you feel like you're overreacting or imagining things. They turn the situation around, making you question your own emotions and memories. This is the dangerous part of shadow projection. Instead of owning up to their actions and the pain they caused, they make you doubt your own reality. What happens then? You start to carry their guilt, their darkness, and it's like you're the one who's wrong. But the truth is, you're not. They are. They've just projected their shadow onto you, and now you're left dealing with it. This is the unsettling truth. Young Gunkaverd. Some people go through life hiding their darkness and forcing others to carry it for them. It's a psychological defense mechanism that keeps them from facing the very parts of themselves they fear. And the more they do this, the harder it becomes for them to ever take responsibility for their actions. This section continues the exploration of Jung's concepts, focusing on how shadow projection plays a key role in why some people hurt others without acknowledging it, and how it affects the person on the receiving end. It highlights the manipulative nature of this psychological defense mechanism in a way that's easy to grasp. One of the most powerful tools people use to avoid taking responsibility for their actions is denial. When someone hurts you and acts like nothing happened, they aren't simply forgetting or being careless. They are choosing to deny the reality of what happened. Denial is a defense mechanism. It's the mind's way of protecting itself from facing uncomfortable truths. For these people, acknowledging what they've done would mean confronting their own flaws and weaknesses, something they're unwilling to do. Doubt. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Denial isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's much quieter. In fact, one of the most damaging ways people use denial is through strategic silence. You've probably experienced this yourself. After a painful situation, the person who hurt you remains silent. They say nothing. They offer no apology, no explanation. And in that silence, they leave you wondering if what happened was really as bad as you remember. They don't speak. And in their silence, they force you into a position of doubt. This isn't an accident. It's a deliberate choice. By staying silent, they shift the burden of confusion onto you. You start replaying conversions in your mind, second-guessing your own emotions, and questioning your reactions. You may even find yourself over-explaining, trying to get them to acknowledge what happened, hoping for some kind of recognition. But all you get is silence. And in that silence, you begin to doubt yourself. Dion understood the power of silence. He knew that it wasn't just an absence of words. It was a psychological tactic. When someone doesn't respond, they take away your ability to process and heal. They leave you chasing answers that never come, putting you in a position of emotional dependency. The longer they remain silent, the more desperate you become for their acknowledgement. It's like a game where they hold all records, and you're left constantly trying to get a response, softening your boundaries just to hear them say something, anything that validates your pain. But that silence is neutral. It's a tool for control. It keeps you in a constant state of uncertainty, making you question your own emotional reality, and the longer it goes on, the more power they have over you. They don't need to say a word. They've already made you feel small, insignificant, and unsure of yourself. This is the hidden strength in their silence. The section dives into the manipulation that comes from denial and silence, exploring how they can be used strategically to destabilize someone emotionally. It helps explain how these tactics are not accidental, but carefully used to maintain control and avoid accountability.